My brain is always really noisy. It's always been really noisy. And everybody talks about the reasons for all that noise. And one of the things that I've discovered, and I want to say it out loud because it's not a big deal, but I think it's something worth saying out loud. I've always known that my brain was noisy. I've always known that the things that are happening in my head, like it's always there. There's always noise. There's always the stuff that's happening. And I actually learned in my 40s that I have this condition called sensory processing disorder. It's not really a big deal, but I want to say it out loud because there might be some of you out there that struggle with this same thing, that deal with this same thing. And what's interesting about it is, and I'm not sharing it as an explanation, and I didn't know any of this at the time, but I knew that I didn't trust first impressions. I knew that I moved slowly towards certainty. I knew that I looked for patterns. I knew that I wait for things to repeat. I knew that I cross-checked intuition. I knew all these things. I knew that it was noisy in my head. And as a result, there were things that I did differently than most of the other people that I was around. And it was in response to how noisy it was in my head. And I learned in my 40s that there was a reason for that. And I learned in my 40s that I had spent all of those years learning how to utilize this, learning how to respond to this, learning how to manage this, learning how to do life as this person. And it actually ended up affecting what I do for a living in a good way. It's that wiring is part of why I do what I do for a living. And only later did I realize that this way that I move through the world, this way that I exist, this way that I think, this way that I deal with the noise, this way that I relate to my world, all of those things trained how I think, they trained how I decide, and they trained how I lead. And I believe that it matters. And I believe that, and I'm telling myself that I am arriving at the time that I was supposed to arrive.